the dark web.
Like Texas could shut down actual porn sites, but they can't shut down child.
Did they really do that?
Yeah, you go to a porn site and it gives you some
notice. Talks about
that
how
you have to talk to your congressman.
your state, how your state is blocking this porn site.
Dang, I didn't know that.
I mean, I heard about it.
Roger was telling us
I'm like,
about
who
it.
was the one that found this out for us?
I think I heard it from Kranky heard it from somebody else.
Well, I didn't read the disclaimer. It was too long.
I ain't got time for that. I'm looking for titties. I'm looking for titties.
It's just something I don't know. Really wasn't paying attention.
I'm losing wood over here.
She sent me a John Deere letter and said something about, I don't know, about not paying attention. I really wasn't paying attention. All right, here we go. All right. Triple Lindy.
Another triple Lindy. God, Rodney Dangerfield to eat your heart out, buddy. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Uncanceled Culture. My name is Porky.
The Louie.
Oh, I'm next.
You can be, or if you want to wait.
We'll wait till the end.
We know who that is.
It's me, Shot Girl.
Shot girl.
There you go.
There you go.
There
Shot
it
girl
is.
now.
On the spot.
I just take shots. I don't got that nickname.
The intervention subject is here with us.
He's back for his third installment.
We haven't won a retainer. It's all right.
Yeah. So what is up, everybody? What was everybody week? How's everybody week going? School? When does school start?
Not soon enough.
Last week of August. Yeah, not soon enough.
Not until the last week?
It's the
Ours is the
for
26th.
the kids it's the 19th.
Oh, that's right. There's the 19th. Mine's the 26th.
Yeah, and hers is the 26th.
Oh, we're talking about the kids. We're not
All
talking
right. I'm a child of God, so.
children of the corn. No.
I saw that some. So I have a quick shot now.
Okay, here we go.
So
We're starting
since we're talking
right
about
off.
that, I saw that East Central started today.
Oh, yeah.
Right, the East Central District.
Yes.
I've seen on Facebook other people, like other cities that have started, last week actually, and ours don't start till the 19th. I know the South San District starts on the 12th.
Yes.
So, what is up with everybody starting different? Like, why can't all school districts start at the same time and end at the same time?
It's always been like that.
But not a 3-week.
I think back in the day, I think everybody used to start pretty much at the
Pretty
same
much
time.
around the same time. It used to be the first week of September. And then it started getting into August. Right? Now it's getting further and further into August. And I get it. A lot of the school districts have their own winter days that they have, or, like the days that they designate in case they have to be shut down.
That they need to make up,
because
just in case.
San Antonio, we shut down for icy roads. So, not so much snow, but icy roads.
Well, I assumed.
Or because it rained.
I
So-
assumed it was a city ordinance, like not ordinance, but just to be considerate of the fact that transportation, if everybody were to start on the same day, that first day would be chaos. Like all parents, all districts trying to go the first day is terrible.
That
so
makes a
I
good
think also police with recent situations with shootings and stuff, I think in light of that, they want to have police presence in the correct areas around town at the right time, just in case. They know that certain districts are starting on certain days. Like, okay, let's get some extra help over here, directing traffic in and out. I know for our kids' school, they have one way in, one way out. Now I think there's like a back entrance, but even then it's still, that school is massive. And there's a middle school and high school. Yeah.
I was waiting for him to say it too.
They're right next to each other. So it's terrible.
So on yahoo.com, it says they pretty much all embrace a 180-day academic calendar.
Right. That's a state, because that's a state mandate.
But
They
the
have to
first
have
day
that
of
in there.
classes can stretch anywhere from mid-July to early September, and it all depends on the city, the state, a climate, or even whether the teachers and students are at risk for burnout. So it's the district spreading it out how they see fit for teachers and students, taking into consideration weather days, taking into consideration, I guess, what Sabrina said.
I guess she's right.
Maybe
these.
What's new?
Maybe the female teachers are just getting lonely because the summers are and they're missing their boyfriends.
Well, not mine.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the cerebral assassin
strikes again.
He does bring up a good point. I mean, it happens.
True.
But ours go to IDEA, so obviously that's not a more or less not a state-funded school. There is some sort of funding that goes to it, but they don't run on the same thing as Harlandale, East Central. Because that's the state stuff. Yeah. So they actually would always start early. Way early, and we were always saying, "Well, goddamn, why are we starting way so much earlier than everybody else? At least a week to 2 weeks before everybody else." And now everybody's doing it. Everybody's starting a week, 2 weeks earlier than what they normally are. But I don't know if maybe that's like a model that they're trying to follow, IDEA, and say, "Oh, well, let me look at what they're doing, even though they don't like us." The public schools hate IDEA, I'll tell you that. So I'm wondering if maybe they're looking at that now and saying, well, yeah, I think maybe they're doing something better, because doesn't that stretch out the days? I mean, because you have to have at least 180 days.
Yeah. Well,
so that can give them maybe 1 or 2 extra days.
But that there's some districts that are now considering the 4-day week.
Somebody already started that, didn't they?
I thought Burbank had it.
I don't know. I know that San Antonio was one of the ones that SAISD was one of the ones talking about considering it. I want to say, was it Floresville?
I know Dallas does it.
Dallas does it in some of their districts. I don't know if it was Floresville. It was one of the little outskirts ones. They've already started it. I know Harlandale was considering it as well.
They've been considering that for a long time.
Okay, so the reason I bring this up,
do it, I don't know.
The reason I bring it up, right, is because, well, the kids are still here. So, can we rock, paper, scissors, like which district goes first next time? And then, give us all a shot. Give us all
We next.
Yeah, man.
To help me.
Help you.
I think it honestly comes down to they're trying to just do whatever they can do for retention purposes, because that's how they get their funding. I have to assume transportation, police presence, and retention. People get burned out. We need to spend some time in between. They'll have some break. Okay, get refreshed, and then come back ready to go. But I don't know.
Yep. Well, there's my quick shot.
Everybody wants to be like us.
I just recently found out that schools lose money when you're absent from school.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
They do fines, if you're gone.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, and that's the whole reason they have truancy court, because they have to be able to try to keep these kids in class, because that's where they get their funding from.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then that does make sense then.
And since COVID, it's just been absolutely terrible. Terrible.
That messed up everybody.
I wouldn't doubt
COVID kids.
I wouldn't doubt if at some point, especially for like high school and maybe upperclassmen, how a lot of them have half day because of work or certain things, that they wouldn't start offering an online course.
What happens in other states?
Well, I mean, it's already like, they do it in college. So I'm just thinking, if they're preparing them for that, why I don't see it in the too far future that they're going to start offering that in high schools.
But you see how that worked with COVID.
Yeah.
Right. It was terrible.
It was terrible. They couldn't get, even our youngest kid, we couldn't get him in front of the damn screen for 2 minutes.
And since then, which is a part of what I need to talk about today, our literacy rate has gone down bad. We are a bunch of illiterate youngins. It's just, yeah, hip hop,
Hip hop anonymous. Hey, you for me, guys.
That's bullshit. He always wins.
Yeah,
So going along with that, we're gonna go.
We're gonna continue with kids.
We're gonna go to that. But speaking of school districts, so one of moms that I know, their son, two kids go to East Central. So apparently they started this phone policy. No phones, and this is we verified it because Kranky was asking, and I looked at it. It's district wide. So no phones in class, no AirPods, no ear, nothing, no ears, no phones. Not even during lunch.
Yeah. So at all.
Not even in between classes. Not even on whatever downtime that they might have after lunch. Not even during lunch. Completely done. No phones. And if it gets confiscated, the parents have to pay $15 to get the phone back.
Okay. Here's where I don't agree with that. I agree with the no phone policy. I think that would be great. I think it would help out, right? I honestly do. Some people feel different because they feel that they need a mental break, they need escape, they need whatever, right? I agree, though. I don't agree with the $15 policy. I agree with confiscating it. I agree. I mean, granted, it's gonna eliminate, right? Hey, if you brought it, you pay $15. The parent's not gonna want to do that again. But I would be like, hey, man, let's confiscate it. You don't get it back, or the parent has to come get it back. But if we have to take it again, then we keep it. I would say keep it for the week, or keep it. Okay, you pay for it, whatever it is. I would give them the one, but
I would just say your parent needs to come pick it up, because that would piss me off. Like, they're not gonna they'll take it away for the day, and they won't give it back to the student at the end of the day. Now your mom has to come pick it up.
Right.
Because if you got to make me drive all the way to that school, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. A lot more trouble than ISS would give you. So
I know that a particular private school would confiscate their phones, and they would make the parent go pick it up.
I think that's
And
definitely
then I don't know if they still do that, but I know, I'm not going to say which one. Doesn't matter, but I'm not going to say it. But that's what they used to do. So if it was during class or whenever they weren't supposed to have their phone out, if it was confiscated, the parent had to come pick it up.
And I agree with this. So
No charge, but still,
yeah,
like Sabrina said, if I had to stop what I'm doing to go pick up the phone, you better believe I'm going to be
right. I agree
take
with this.
that belt in there with me. No.
Be like, you have a paddle?
Right.
I'll do it.
Can I take one?
Their schools are supposed to be preparing kids for the real world, man. You know, and if they want to prepare them for a job, then they should treat it like a job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I pick up your phone first time. It's a verbal.
Yeah.
Pick it up the
Yeah.
second time.
Yeah.
You get written up.
Yep.
Pick it up a third time. You're suspended.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
but
and
that
not only
work-
at the phone, but
that
in
work.
all aspects, because we've talked about this as far as like dress code, because they're allowing them to go in like a freaking sports bra and like pajama pants. And
Oh my
multiple
God.
times I've seen that with like a sweater.
Oh,
Wow.
You should be dressing for success in school, because this is the intention is to prepare you for the real world as an adult. But I do agree with the cell phone. I think, and that's from someone who's glued to their cell phone now 24/7. It needs it to function in all areas. But in school, I don't think it's an appropriate place. And for statistic purposes, it's proven nothing but bad things come from them being in the presence of a phone or having it on them in school. And so just to throw statistics out there,
Bam!
San Antonio is the second highest illiterate city in Texas.
Wow.
Well, is that our fault? Their parents didn't get married when they were born.
I mean, and then so what this means is,
you got it right. Illegitimate, illiterate.
Oh,
Is that our fault?
so for those that don't know, the actual breakup, 12.5 is just straight illiteracy. 12.5 is functional illiteracy, meaning like they can't get through their day-to-day. Like you, not even just like reading at an 8th grade level or at a 9th grade level, which is like the typical adult range. You don't even have the ability to socially interact at a normal rate with human beings on a day-to-day basis. You can't go to the store, you can't hold a conversation, you just lack basic
Social skills.
Like social skills.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's half and half.
Believe
However,
that.
it states that about 25% of adults in San Antonio are living functionally illiterate, meaning they don't have any higher literacy rate higher than a fifth grader.
Wow.
I believe it, to be honest. Being a customer service, it states that the highest. Can y'all guess who the highest is?
Houston?
In the United States, not in Texas. I didn't check Texas, but I just know that we're the second worst.
Laredo?
California.
No,
Florida?
it's state.
Are you
It's
talking about the
not
state?
us.
Oh.
Yeah, state.
Florida?
Florida?
New York.
No, it's Washington.
Oh.
And you know why they're saying is the reason why they're the highest is because they don't have cell phones.
Oh, I thought it was
They
because we
banned-
sent all the immigrants over there.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's
god.
New York. I thought it was New York.
We sent them everywhere, bro.
Hot Wheels got him on.
that's the highest
He's
literacy
got him
rate?
everywhere.
Illiteracy rate.
We have the second highest illiteracy rate, meaning
We can't read.
We cannot read, spoke, nothing.
We can read good.
And then Washington is number one.
And Washington is number one state-wise. Texas was, I think, number 13 in ranks of badness.
So, but because you said because they don't have cell phones.
Yeah, so Washington's, their district, because they're essentially like, or state, but Washington, D.C.'s district is
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's America.
city.
DC, yeah.
D.C. itself, the entire area, the school district that's within that area, has phones banned. They are not allowed
So
on
why
the
would
campus.
that make them
Why
illiterate?
would they make them literate?
No. They're the most.
Oh, their
literate.
literacy. They're
They're the
most
number one.
literate.
they're the number one. Like
Most
they're the
literate.
best. Okay.
They have the best percentage. So, and I go and I looked up their schools, and it states that they do not have. They decided in the year 2021 that they had been having cell phones and that the rate had plummeted dramatically after COVID. They decided to do a research with their students, and they took the cell phones away, allowed them in place to use now. They put iPads in their system and use that in school to kind of keep that social, computer, internet feel.
Okay.
Because that's now the thing. Everyone's addicted to the internet. So they would utilize it during the school day, and it helped them in the long run. So
Well, see, I don't, and I mean, I guess the stats, right? You really can't argue with stats. I mean, it's on the internet. You can't believe everything that's on the internet. But I will say this.
Only if you're Roger.
Only if you're Roger. Because the real cowboys are liking his comments. Oh.
I
so-
swear Chastity said she loved me.
I know, and Kranky tells him, oh, so you believe the strippers like you too, huh? Yeah.
So real quick before we continue, the other illiterate states after
Illiterate.
us, illiterate, meaning they cannot speak right at a good level or at their average level, is Florida, Oklahoma, Indiana, and Ohio. And effective June of this year, they've
Ohio
banned cell
Riz?
phones. Ohio Skibbity Riz.
Ohio Riz.
They do not have their Rizless, actually.
Well, look, and this is why I say I agree with that, and this is coming from I use my phone all day, so I message all day, right? And clients range from older people to millennials now. Yeah, and I'll tell you, when they're messaging, like even when we're messaging with the kids, right? We realize that they have a lot of abbreviations or they'll spell something, that should be with a PH with an F or they or that with a CK they just put a K or whatever, right? Like it's shorthand basically.
Right.
But then when you ask
Is
them
it?
to, well, this is what I'm saying, because when you ask them to actually spell something,
They don't know how.
and they don't because
It's
they're so
terrifying.
used to shorthanding, abbreviating, and doing, taking the shortcuts.
PLS.
Yeah.
Yes.
For please.
This is why I agree with this. I think that there is a big, huge concern, and not a lot of people are alarming the bells, that these kids do not know how to spell.
They don't know how to
They
interact.
don't know how to interact socially.
Nope.
They don't know how to have a normal conversation. They don't know how to have a professional conversation. In my old age, in college, at a university level, in my junior year, they're having to teach students how to write an email,
Oh my.
a basic email to your boss. And they're asking questions. What's wrong with the picture here? Like they do in 5th grade. And they're like, nothing. They have no idea. And it's terrifying. And it's like the 18-year-olds and down at this point are in trouble.
But I agree with Kranky because he made a comment episodes ago, and he said it's the parents' fault. It's our fault. And I'll give you an example. I hate. Don't be in the other room and message me. Don't do that. I hate that because that's to me again. You're taking away the.
Tell me how you really feel.
You take away the interaction part, right? You take the interaction out of it.
Okay,
if you can't come and ask me
again.
face to face, if you can't, then how are you going to do that somewhere else? Yeah. No, but this is it. And she's usually pretty good at, but sometimes like she'll respond right away, and I'm like, why? No. Tell them to come over here and ask, or do this. Like,
right, yeah.
don't message back and forth from the very next room. That
The meatloaf. We want it now.
Meatloaf.
I'm like, dude, I'm not, as much as I use my phone 24/7, I'm not glued to it. So there'd be times she'll call and she'll be like, did you get my message? No, because you know what? I don't have it on my hip.
You didn't see that look she just gave
I
you.
did see it.
You should have felt it.
You know
Your
what?
ears should be
that
red.
deserves a shot.
Oh my god. Well,
Everybody
I've
that
already
knows
said her
him
name twice.
knows.
so, and we talked about this earlier because I brought it up in the text. So we kind of talked about it, and then I brought up the point that in Houston in February of this year, 2024, they tried, and apparently they're still trying to ban cell phones while on school grounds. That was the rule.
that's fair.
While on school grounds, and guess what the kids did?
Did they riot?
They walked out.
Oh, wow.
They walked out of the school, causing like all this traffic jam, all this like paranoia because, you know, kids are just walking out of school and everybody's freaking out. So because of that policy, they
That's
walked
crazy.
out of class
That's crazy.
and they walked out of school. So it's like, and we talked about it because when it happened, I know we sent text messages about it, and I'm pretty sure we were like, well, where the fuck are the kids, the parents, and wow, the parents fucking, you know,
Right.
yelling at them and this and that, blah blah blah. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, so would that really happen here? Because I'm already hearing from the mom that's in that school district right now. I'm already hearing, well, I'm not going to pay $15 to go get that phone back.
See, and that's where I agree. I would not be paying
So leave it
$15
there?
either. It would piss me off. So I'm
Oh,
saying...
no. She said, oh, no, they're going to give me my phone back.
Oh, well, yeah.
Because I pay for it. That's my phone. They're
And I-
going
and
to
I
give me
agree
the
with
phone
that
back,
too.
and I'm not going to pay that $15.
So I agree with Kranky where he said you do the verbal, you do a write-up, and then you do a suspension. However, I don't think it would be a suspension. It would be like an ISS because suspension means they're absent and they lose funding for that.
Right.
They need to keep them in school. So you put them in like an ISS,
Right.
Keep
so
them
they
in
it's an
school.
in-school
OCS.
suspension,
Right.
Yeah. Still
and they
give
have
them
to
their
stay in
work.
there.
Right.
And what if this kid is, misses 90 days of school?
Right, and that's the thing. And I feel like that's why I say the only way to hold these kids accountable and make their parents also not enable them and be like, F that, I'm going to get my kid's phone back. Instead of having that response saying, okay, you can have it. You don't have to pay for it either, but you have to drive all the way down here to pick it up, which is bound to piss off. A lot of parents don't get off till 5.
Happen.
Well,
It's
and
going to
I'm sure,
inconvenience
but-
them.
and I'm sure they're doing contracts right at the beginning of the year. I'm sorry, you're not going to take my phone or my kid's phone and keep it and
So
tell me
you're
that you're
saying-
going to pay. That I'm going to have to pay without me having to sign
So
something
they're
saying,
saying
this,
that,
I'm agreeing
that
with
they
it.
should have made them sign some
Yeah,
sort
there
of
should- there needs to
paper
be- there needs
saying,
to be some
okay,
kind of-
you're agreeing to this.
Yes.
Yeah,
And then if
yeah,
that's
like,
the
like
point-
with your enrollment paperwork.
And then
say
when
this
you
is our
do,
policy.
you can't come over here and say, F that, that's my phone. No, you signed
signed
this.
it.
So, apparently, when I went back and looked at the school district, the website, it says that they've had this sort of policy in place since 2011.
And you know what? I believe it because
I
when
do
I
too.
was in school, I graduated in the young age, in class of 09.
Oh,
But,
God.
She was
Damn,
still in
Louie.
the 2000s.
but back then,
Wow, Louie.
way back when, they had this policy in because at that time we didn't have the super smartphones, but we had Blackberries were prevalent then. We
Oh,
had
yeah.
flip Razor phones. We had. I think that was it. The Razor
They had
phones.
all the cool shit before.
The Motorola
After-
Razor
after we
and the
I,
graduated.
Blackberry.
I like the blueberry, the
And
blackberry.
what
Blueberry.
also was a problem was it was the digital camera phase. So that was what mostly people would get in trouble for is bringing out the camera mid lecture and just taking pictures and stuff, and it would piss those teachers off.
Which now they do that now with their phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and there was a thing, and I have ever known it to go away. These kids just these days don't care, and they
No.
realize that enough of them break the rule at the same time. There's no repercussion.
But it's because, again, I go back to what Kranky said.
Consequences and repercussions.
The parents they enable them.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason they don't care because
They're like, Mom, I'm gonna come over here.
Yeah,
and pick it
mom
up."
will come over here and fight for me.
And it's like, but also, some of the parents would rather just not have to deal with it. Don't take my kid's phone away so that I don't have to deal with them being pissed off, or me having to try and pay $15, me trying to get the phone back without paying $15. Like, some parents would probably just say, you know what, just fucking let them have the phones.
I don't think so.
And that's how I feel some of the parents would be.
Let the kids have the phones. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's the
Like,
thing, like, let the kids have
so
the
that
phone.
way the parent doesn't have to deal with
Oh
it.
man, you know how many parents don't parent? Come on, I would.
yeah, I know.
I
And
agree
That's
with that.
the Kranky's point. Like, that's when you
Yeah.
blame the parent. Well, some of the parents, I'm sure, you
And
know,
this
they're
is what I
probably
say.
like, well, fuck, just give them the fucking phone and let them have it.
Right, and this is where I say, this is why I feel that this other option would be a better option, because then it forces the parent to get on their kid's ass. Like, if you make me come up here again, I'm gonna whoop you, right? If they choose not to parent and they choose not to show up, well, then now you're out of the phone and you're paying that bill for nothing, and your kid doesn't get their phone back. Not like you're holding it hostage. You can come and get it whenever you want. So now it takes the discipline out of the administrator's hands, and now it's like, I'm not gonna keep it from you, but your mom just has to come back and pick it up. And if the mom has to come pick it up, the only one that's gonna get inconvenienced is mom or dad, if they choose to inconvenience themselves. And if they don't, then the kid's gonna be pissed, they're gonna be pissed, and it continues to fall back on the parent. So, I mean, I feel like it'd be a good both way to figure out that issue, make the parent come and pick it up. First
Or
time,
do what
third
Essential
time,
doing and
10th
just don't have
time.
it.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
I just feel like with shooting, though, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I would move districts, to be honest. If they told me my kid could not go to school with the phone at all, I don't have location on them, because that's how I know they're not skipping, right? And if there's a shooting that happens, my kid's campus is huge. And there's so much land around it that there's so much opportunity for a kid to
Right.
show up. Just last year, there was a kid with a gun on campus. So, and the only reason why I knew is because one of them messaged me and said, hey, there's rumors. And I was like, okay.
Wow.
So I would want them to still have any case of an emergency. To be on it all day? No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but how many
Why
times do you
don't
tell a
they-
kid?
Why don't
And
they
it is,
just?
and it is their ruling right now
Yeah.
not to have it.
You know how Dave Chappelle, before his concerts, he makes everybody
Oh,
lock
yeah.
their
Put their
Oh, yeah,
phones.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
A lot of them
Kevin
do now
Hart
that.
did-
Why
Yeah.
don't they just the teacher do that before class? Just lock up their phones.
Make them
Well,
collect them
but
all.
this is why what she's talking about. But then now you don't have access to a phone in case of an emergency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So believe me, I felt the same way. Put your devices right here in this basket, and you can't. But then now you're taking time away from the teacher
Class
actually
time.
teaching, because
Right. Before
they're
and
gonna have to
after.
pick up phones, and then at the end of the class. So that way they're not late. They have to do it before the bell
Right,
rings
yeah,
for them
yeah,
to disperse
yeah.
them again. That's taking away time from the teacher.
Like Spicoli. Remember when Spicoli was taking time away from Mr. Hand?
But if he's there and the teacher's there,
isn't it
make it our time?
From
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Never heard of that.
You never seen that movie?
How old?
No.
How
So we were
old is
watching it.
she?
We were watching it. But,
How old
but
is
we
she?
only saw the parts. We only saw
the good parts.
The part where
the
she's
one-
coming out of the pool.
Oh, I remember this. I remember this now. Yes, I know that scene. I do know that one.
Or the part where they're in the back room.
In the back room,
Yeah,
yes.
with the
Yeah. So this has always been a thing, from my understanding, at least in the district I used to go to in the south side of San Antonio. And the only thing they would say is, you can have it, just don't let me see it. If I see it, if you're walking, if you're in between hallways, if you're in the restroom, you can have it. And actually, back then, I want to say you couldn't even have it in the hallway. You had to go to the restroom or go outside to make a phone call.
I mean, we didn't have many
Because
cell phones.
we only had 5 minutes to get from class to class. So they're like, get off your phone, hurry up. You couldn't
Yeah.
even really stop to talk
Yeah.
to people and friends. But if you're in the classroom and you had it, they weren't
We-
even asking questions. They were
We didn't have
giving
many
it.
cell phones in our time when we were in school.
There were none. You guys have black
We
and white
had-
TVs.
We had one.
Hey,
Joey
hey,
Chavez.
No,
Hey,
no,
hey,
and
hey. Hey,
Frankie.
hey.
Oh, that's right.
You,
Frankie
you
Joey.
need to watch yourself, ma'am. I heard that. I heard
Joey
that.
had a cell phone.
Only did.
However, it wasn't like, oh, you can't be on it. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing. But I get what she's saying, you know, because she came from the slide of the south side, you know,
what?
the slide of the south side. Where Southside was the pride of the south side.
Sir, I
Y'all
know.
were the slide of the south
We're
side.
the $1 million band from Indian land, okay?
But also too, when we had our cell phones, they didn't have plans. They charged by the minute.
By the minute.
So we didn't want to be on the phone.
And it wasn't only the call; it was also the text.
Yeah.
Well, the texting happened to like the 2000s.
Yeah, like 25
Texting,
texts a month. And like, God damn it!
Texting didn't happen with Nokia.
Don't text me. Don't text me till after 9.
Yeah, exactly. Don't text me until dude.
No, don't call me till after 9.
There were some plans that were 7.
Yeah.
So
Damn it,
after
man.
7.
Or 8.
Don't text me till after then.
Yeah.
So to that point, I know we're keep going on it, but the when I talk to the mom, she says that the district, the school, the high school itself is so big that she has to go to class from one side of the school to the other, and then like Sabrina was saying, well, they only give you 5 minutes or whatever to get to the next class. So if you're using those 5 minutes to get from point A to point B, then maybe you shouldn't be on your phone and you shouldn't be wasting time. You should be getting from your class. But it's in this age where even my youngest is glued to his damn Switch 24/7.
Yep.
It would be so hard to get these kids away from their
so
phone.
Here's my question. Come here. Come here real quick.
That's a lot of dishes.
I know. She's been there for like 30 minutes. I feel sorry for you.
Come here, Mama.
I think she's watched the same one like 5 times.
They run a tight ship.
No, she just wanted to hear the rest of the podcast.
Making her podcast
I have a
debut.
question for you really quick. Okay? You can speak into here. I have a question. Would you be able to go a full... I'm not even going to say a full year. I'm not even going to say a full week. Would you be able to go a whole day in school without a cell phone?
She's not a good one to ask.
Hold on, but I this is why I'm asking her.
Okay.
Because she's technically not on her phone all day.
She's
okay.
not at all.
Not like the other ones.
No.
But I'm asking you, would you be able to go a full day without a cell phone in school? Like you could only have it before school and after school. You couldn't have it throughout the day. Would you be able to go a full day without a cell phone?
No.
No?
No.
Why?
Okay.
Something happened, I have to take long.
Okay, but like.
Okay,
You
hold
didn't-
on.
So she said
So
if
you
something.
guys what?
Because something happens, I have to text mom.
Okay. Now, let me ask this, though. If it wasn't because of an emergency, if it's just because you're used to having it, could you go a full day without a phone?
Yeah.
Because you don't need it all the time. Okay, and this is the one that she's saying.
I've done my job, y'all.
This is the one that she's saying doesn't need to be on it, right?
I'll let her have dessert now. She can have dinner. I'll allow it.
You can have dinner after
There's
you're done
food in the
with
microwave now. Good job.
Oh, okay.
And this is the reason I wanted to ask. She's a teenager, so I wanted to ask a teenager.
Yeah.
But now I'll tell you this. That's why Sabrina was saying that's the wrong one to ask, because if you ask one of the other two,
Oh no.
Oh, that they would.
let me tell you how many times
An hour later.
I see on IG, I see on TikTok during school stuff that's being posted, and I'm like,
But I will say, all of my 3 older ones went to the same middle school, and they had an older principal who was amazing. She graduated with my older kids to high school now. She's no longer there. But she set the precedent in that school that cell phones are not allowed. It's a no cell phone zone. So in the hallway, in classroom, there are
but that
not
was in middle school.
She goes to the middle school right now.
Now
and
in high school.
And that middle school, while all of my kids were at that middle school, none of them were really glued to their phone. And especially her, like her out of all of them, she's not a cell phone addict while she's at school. Like at home, she's on it and it's like, because I'm bored. The other 2 are much more.
But see, she's in 8th grade. I want to see how it
That's that
goes when she
switch.
gets next year.
Yeah,
That
and
switch
now, but I will say
happens.
there's a difference. In high school, they have way more leniency. They have a lot more free time. They have a whole class. I don't know if y'all are aware of this now. They have a whole class designated. It's a free time class for you to catch up on work if you need it.
But
And
I don't know if it's so
everybody-
much that it's the free time. I want to agree with your first word. I think it's the leniency, because I think the teachers are like, I'm not going to police that. Why the hell am I going to be? Don't be on your phone. Or they'll say it, and if
That's
the kids
true.
stay on it, I don't care.
And that's
just
a-
because the teachers don't want to deal with that.
And that's the
not
flip
part
side.
of their.
That's true.
That's one of those. That's not my job.
Yeah,
type of
That's
quote
one
unquote.
That's one of those. I'm not gonna tell him to take his dog outside.
Yeah.
God damn it! Damn HEB and Walmart.
I'm allergic.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. So.
But now you're looking at the flip side. How is it going to be enforced? Who's going to enforce it? You're going to have a teacher in the classroom. Is he or she going to enforce that? Mm-hmm. If you're going to have administrators walking the hallways in between class, are they going to enforce that?
Yeah.
Like, how you're looking at the other side. Who's going to enforce it?
Yeah.
Right.
Are they even going to want to enforce it? Because because then you're going to have to deal with a pissed off kid
And a parent.
and a parent later on. So who's going to want that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it. I mean, apparently, like I said, this has been in place for a lot of years, but yet, why now does this seem more relevant?
Well,
or
I think
prevalent?
it also depends on the teachers. I think
Because
it also,
no one's passing their STAR test, and they need that to graduate.
That is true.
God,
But I also
yeah,
think it's the teachers. Kranky's mentioned it again before. The teachers are younger and younger now.
I'm hot for teachers.
Oh, no, it's the other way around.
The teachers are hot for students. No, but you think
Some
about
hot
it.
tooing going on there.
The older teachers would probably be the ones to say they're going to enforce it.
Yeah.
But the younger ones,
They also want their phone.
because they're also the same way. They're doing TikToks in class.
in class.
Yes, so that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see that.
I think now they're starting to, at least from what I see, like on the learning standpoint perspective, I think they're losing focus in the classroom. I think they're losing their test scores are going way down, and a lot of schools in Texas, they get their funding from not only attendance but them passing that STAR test. Everything revolves around the school year. You guys have kids. I don't know if IDEA follows the same standards, but everybody in the public school system, their whole school year revolves around passing that test.
Yeah.
And any grade level, but specifically 8th and 12th grade.
And they'll start in the very first weeks
Right.
of school.
Telling
STAR
you,
test,
preparing,
STAR test,
8
STAR
weeks
test,
till
STAR
start,
test.
10
Oh,
weeks
here's
till-
your fake. Here's a fake STAR test. Here's it.
Yep.
And yeah, even now, and I don't really know, like, that's another thing. That's another like completely different, topic. And I don't know how. For me, I don't know how how to deal with that, because it's like, how do you get them to say, if you don't pass this, you're not graduating.
Yeah. My senior's there now.
You need to understand, and our oldest is kind of like, well, why? Like, why? I don't have to, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
No,
I would challenge every parent that has a student that has a phone to go look up whatever grade they're in and look up the top 10 words for that grade and ask them to spell them in front of you without looking at their phone, without helping them.
Oh, let's do it right now. Test it.
We should.
Test it. Bring it up. Let's do it.
But
And everybody's gonna get a shot.
okay.
Anybody listening?
Kranky
Everybody
too.
listening?
No. I'm
I
not that
challenge
shot.
you.
Not that shot.
Hold on. But let's do this. We won't do.
Mind you, I have 2 dyslexic children. Okay, cut them.
No. We won't.
Wow,
We
she's
won't.
talking about you, Louie.
Louis.
We won't do.
You're gonna 96 church tonight or what?
Wow. We're not gonna do 12th grade though. Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna start with 5th grade.
We'll do.
What's the?
Fifth grade.
What are we
Wow.
doing? I wasn't paying
The top 10 words of that class.
So
not 10th
she's
grade.
saying
Let's go
that-
at least to 9th or 10th.
There's 10 words that at that grade level,
Well,
these kids should know how to spell.
What are we testing?
We're gonna do it ourselves.
Well, no. The test would be, I'm challenging parents that are listening to go home
No,
to
I
their
know,
kids who have
but
phones.
Porky just said, let's do it ourselves
I
here.
want to try it
That's what
right
I'm
now.
saying.
Yeah, let's do it right now. Give everybody one. Start with Louie because he's dyslexic.
Our family actually played
All
this
right.
game for Christmas, and it was
This
hilarious.
is 10th grade.
No, she said 5th grade.
Oh man, because we were definitely not gonna get the.
are
We were
you
definitely not
smarter?
gonna get the freaking 10th
Hey,
grade
I still get mixed up with the I before E and stuff. So.
I before E except after C.
I bet you they don't know that rhyme.
They don't know I'm just a
Okay,
bill.
so the average
and a-
American reads at a 7th to 8th grade level. Now, it used to be 5th to 6th grade. So now look up a 7th to 8th grade top 10 words. Okay, so this is the average adult's comprehension rate in spelling.
Okay.
All right, the top 10 words.
What grade?
8th grade.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. He's
Everyone's
looking at
sweating.
it. He's
Nobody,
looking
if y'all
at it.
could see the sweat falling down this man's forehead.
Hey Siri, how do you spell?
All right, the first word is assimilate.
Oh shit.
Can you use it in a sentence?
It's American.
Can you tell me the origin?
It's to become like one's environment.
I'm gonna try it. Okay.
Oh, and she goes to college, ladies and gentlemen.
ASSILIMATE.
Wait, there was
assimilate. ASSILIMATE.
Yeah, you said IL.
There should have been an M.
Yeah.
I
There should have been an N in there.
ILATE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you got a degree, so you think you know everything.
Let me see.
That was right. It was right.
Oh, okay. I was right.
All right. What about concede?
Oh, I know this one.
Hold on.
I'll
You already
try.
got
I'll try.
it. You can't play everything.
I'll take this one.
Kelly,
Okay.
Kelly, can you let everybody else play?
Concede. Okay, I'll take this one. I'll make myself look dumb. CONCEDE.
Good.
Oh, Kranky's next.
Oh man, I was out in the first round of spelling bee back in the day, man.
All right. Subordinate.
Damn you!
You give him all the easy ones.
Hip hop. Hip hop anonymous.
All right. Hippopotamus.
All right. You do a skip. You do a pass.
Subordinate.
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 Woo, yeah.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Kranky was in GT, just to let y'all
All right,
know.
ladies.
He used to be a nerd.
Hey.
He's a week out after his intervention. He's looking good. He's sounding good.
He's on level 8. He's on level 8.
He's higher than average in spelling right now.
love
I
okay?
mean, you know, and a lot of these words, again, it's and we do this with the kids. Sound it out. Like, you're gonna get close, right? No, bro, I'm telling you, the phones have taken away that whole thing. Sound it out, bro. The youngest ones are closer sometimes because they're teaching
They're
them
teaching phonics right now.
right,
So they do.
and so
they
they're
break it up.
practicing that
To break it down.
it down.
Yeah.
But you tell the other one, they're like, and I'm like,
Or they do. I don't know.
yeah, I don't
And then
know.
Don't even try.
It's like, I don't know. That wasn't one of the answers.
See, let's do one more. Do one more. I want to do one more. Do one
All
more.
right.
Do one more.
Malleable.
What?
Yeah, she
Go
can take
ahead,
that
Coach.
one.
Go ahead.
Malleable?
Malleable. Okay. MAU.
That's mall.
I'm guessing you spell like valuable.
Malleable.
MAL.
MALLIABLE. Malleable.
Yeah, MALLEABLE.
Ah.
See, I never even heard that word, man.
Malleable.
Can you give me the point of origin?
Not origin. Origin.
Can you give me the origin?
Negative.
I tell you what. Can you give me the spelling?
And those are 8th grade words.
Yeah. So ask parents, ask your
God.
kids. Just do a check-in. I know we get busy. We have a whole basketball team over
Bugga,
here with
spell
subs.
subordinate. Subordinate.
She's not in 8th grade yet. She hasn't learned these
Oh,
words yet. You gotta
okay,
give her
all
7th
right.
grade
You got
word.
lucky.
What is your name, Bob?
Starts with a B. Ends with a B.
What's the
Bob.
what's the capital of Ohio?
That'd be capital O.
Oh man, the days.
But okay, so to go along with that, right? So the middle kid is, for some reason, he's desperately wanting to go work at Walmart. He just turned 17. He's desperately wanting to go work at Walmart, and we're like, "Why do you want to go work at Walmart?" And then like our first thought is like, "Okay, good. He wants to go get a job. That's
It's
fine.
a girl.
Cool."
It's a girl.
No.
Telling you right now.
He's not, and like Kranky said, he's not at that point yet.
Okay.
He's
into Fortnite.
He's actually more into cards than he is to
Pokemon?
any of that. No. Regular baseball cards.
Oh,
Cool.
But
He's being a kid.
so our first thought was like, okay, cool, he wants to work, but then I guess it hit us. He doesn't know how to socialize. So
I have one of those.
How is that going to affect him if he goes into the interview and they ask him questions and he's going to sit there with his hands between his legs and he's going to be like, I don't
okay.
know.
My 21-year-old is like
really?
that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know. He's already had a few jobs. and he's done the interview process, and he's gotten hired. He's had 4 jobs, and I'm like, how? Because he's the same way. You'd be lucky to get 5 words out of him.
That's what I'm saying.
His usual responses are head nods and shakes and shrugs.
Yeah, exactly.
But don't get it twisted. He is one of the most literate
Yeah. Yeah.
21-year-olds I've ever met. And
Credit Louie.
Right.
Credit Louie.
It's in the genes, bro.
he speaks very well.
He does.
Very well.
When you see his text messages or his emails, bro,
and sarcasm is off the chart.
dude, I'm like, dude, that would get you a job.
Yeah.
But speaking, he's like,
Maybe that's how he answers the interview question.
Kranky just said that he puts everything,
Texting.
types everything on his phone and shows him the answer.
Yeah. So
Like, oh, you're a mute. Okay, we have to hire you.
we don't want to
get discriminated. We don't want to
You're
get
a-
sued for discrimination.
You're a DEI applicant. Okay, we got it. Okay.
no. That's terrible.
Oh man, Joe Boo needs a refill.
Yeah, me too. I've been waiting here like, hello, empty. Yeah, but I mean that's why I brought it up. I mean, we were talking about.
You'll be surprised how much it's going to help him get out of a show.
Well, and I hope so because I want him to. We want him to do that, but
And Walmart was one of his jobs, so you get a discount.
well, yeah, we
And
know
on
that.
gas.
I know that from my nephew because we bought
Yes.
a TV from them. I was like, hey, all right. We got- But it's like okay with us. There's normal conversation. Like it's not just thank you. It's not just But when it comes to talking to other people, I just took him to the doctor on yesterday morning, and she's asking him questions, and he's just like same like I said, sitting there, hands between his legs, looking down. As so, what do you do, Tristan, during the day? Blah blah blah. Just play video game. Like, dude, and I'm like glaring at him. I'm like, answer the question, talk, answer the question, and that is the only thing that gets me. If he's wanting to get a job, he needs to open up and be social.
So my like I said, my 21-year-old and also our 17, when they're asked questions, like if they're at the doctor and they're asked questions, their reaction is to look at us.
Mom. Yes.
And it's like they're asking
he wanted
you,
to do
not
that.
me.
Yeah, he wanted to do that
Yeah,
too.
they're asking
that was
you,
his first
not
thing.
me.
But what we did was we did like a low-key sting operation. We walked up on his job.
Yeah.
What?
Just not to spy on him. We were just like, we dropped him off, and it's a long drive. We might as well get off and buy some stuff we need. 2 times at
One was
the
at
gamer place, and then I don't want to give away his. Well, he's not there anymore.
Yeah, and then the other one was
He was
Walmart.
at GameStop, and then the other one was at a Halloween store.
Yeah, and then Walmart too. We did that.
And Walmart too. And actually all three times we walked in and we were just minding our business, and we look over and he's like, "Look, he's talking to people.
He's helping out, dude.
and he was being kind and helpful and how we know him to be.
Yeah, how we taught him.
It's just the fact that he was not in front of us or didn't have someone to lean on or
And I don't know if he's listening because I
answer
send him
for
this
him.
all the time, but
right. I mean, they do well, just not in our presence.
yeah.
They just need.
And I think that's what
they're
it
a
is. The
peacock. You
parents,
gotta let them fly.
but I think the parents they enable them because they jump in and answer questions whenever they're asked, right? So we do the opposite, like, not me. That was you. That was for you, son. That was for you, daughter. Like, not me.
But and of course, when he's online with his friends playing video games, you should hear the words that come out of his mouth because it's not safe for work, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, it's
Same
like
as Xavier.
table slam, hands slamming on the table, like God damn fuck, God, and it's like, and we look at each other like, did he just say fuck?
Like, well, he's talking.
Did he just did he just say that? And we give him some leeway.
Yeah.
Because I mean he's 17 now. Okay. And
He's not a baby.
It's curse words. As long as he's not talking to other people, using curse words and stuff like being respectful, cordial, all that stuff. Okay, fine. But with his friends, we give him a little bit of leeway, right? But there are some times where I had to, like 12, 1 o'clock at night, where he's yelling his fucking ass off. I have to relax. And then it gets quiet.
For like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then again, it's like,
And then it starts again.
you suck, bro. You suck, bro. You fucking suck, bro. That's what I mean, literally. Like that's what I hear at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning.
So I had the same fear with my daughter, and she got a job at Foot Locker. Her first job was a seasonal job, so I was terrified for her because we couldn't even get her. Here's $1. Go get some ranch from the counter
God.
at. Oh my!
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to ask her.
It
What do I
was
do?
a full meltdown, needing to get a counselor involved because she was having the worst day of her life. Like you couldn't. You would have thought I would have asked her to go and buy porn or something. Like, she was like, "Oh my God, Mom! Oh my God! Like, how dare you?
What do I get? What do I
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my God!"
No, but we walked up on her too.
And then we sent her in there on her own. I was there hiding behind the pillar like the creeper mom that I am. And she walked in there and killed that interview and was super helpful and delightful. We've walked in on her helping in both English and Spanish customers. And they're like, she was so nice and nothing but great reviews about her. So I'm like, she just needed to be away from me, I think.
Yeah, she needs to be pushed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you push a kid in the pool, you learn how to swim.
figure it
That's
out.
what it was.
And then you have to call the ambulance. Because if,
how I was taught.
if it was my son, he would have had to call the ambulance. He would
would've just sung.
He would have just been like,
He'd have been in the old school when Frank the Tank's under the water. The music played. Oh, man.
yeah, that's my son. That's what would have happened, man.
So is that why all these younger kids like wear glasses now? You know, because they can't read an eye chart.
Because they can't read
Yes! Yes!
You know, and not because they can't see, because they can't actually read an eye chart.
No,
No.
my son is just blind.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's completely blind. Like they say, cover your eye. I'm like, oh God, here we go. Is that? And it's like the S is a Z, the Z is an S, the F is an E, and it's like, son, really? Are you that blind? Like, I know I'm blind, but I'm old. You are very young. Why do I sound like Donald Trump now? There's things, a lot of things. There's Google everywhere, and
The bus went there. The bus was here.
But
And
so
he's still smarter than Biden.
he's older than him now. No, but so I mean, I don't know if you guys didn't have anything else. Going along with the school thing, like, because I know that there's, I mean, the phone is a big thing,
Yeah.
right? And I know y'all don't have to deal with it. Y'all don't have uniforms, right?
No.
No.
You don't have to deal with uniforms. So at IDEA, they do have to deal with uniforms. You know, each grade level has a different colored shirt, and then you can wear specific pants and this and that. So since last year, they've said you cannot wear shoes that are not black. All black.
Yeah.
No white soles, no white Nike swoosh, no a little bit of white, no a little bit of this, a little bit of that. No, completely black, which has been the rules for years. We've been at that school for 11, 12 years now. Mm-hmm. And why do people act dumb?
Yeah.
Are they acting, though?
Or
I
are
mean,
they
we're the
being
second
or are they
most
being
illiterates.
or bratty? Because
No,
it's
Yeah.
like
entitled.
Yes,
Yeah, entitled.
because it's like, well, nobody told us, bitch. Sorry. I was looking at the comments the other day and I was reading them and I'm like, that's what I kept saying every time. Bitch,
Please.
It used to be. You're talking about IDEA, right?
Yes.
It used to be white, didn't it? I thought they used to have it had when they first
No.
opened. It used to be white shoes.
Well, maybe. We've been around more than 10 years now, and ever
Oh,
since
wow.
then,
It's been
it's
black
been
shoes?
black shoes.
Oh, wow.
They have to have. Obviously, they have to have the right color shirt. They have to have the right color pants.
jacket,
They have to
branded
have
stuff.
belts. You cannot go to school without a belt. You have to have a belt, and your shoes have to be black.
Yeah.
They even have pictures when
Yeah.
you first go like tomorrow's meet the teacher. On that day, they'll have a thing there that says, "Here's the uniform. This is the way the uniform should look." They send out weekly things every week. Black shoes, black shoes, black shoes. I've read every single one of them, and it says black shoes, black shoes, black shoes. And then they say, don't forget, your scholar, they call them scholars, your scholar must be wearing black shoes. And
Still show up.
50, 60 comments coming in. Well, nobody told me that we had to be wearing black shoes and blah, blah, blah. And I don't have time to go looking for black shoes.
What
I've
shade
already
of black?
bought
Is
shoes.
it like black? Is it like
black.
No, black. Yeah,
Matte black.
And they're like, well, they told us they could wear some color on their shoe. No, bitch. No color. Black. All black. So why is it all of a sudden now you're like, well, I don't have time to go black. You don't have time to black. You can go online.
Yeah.
You know what
Amazon
size your
has
kids
them.
are.
Yeah.
You can go. Well,
Walmart has
where do we
them.
go? What do you mean? Where do you go?
Right.
This is how the parents are too, and you were talking about like blaming the kids for certain things. What about the parents? It's Kranky. What Kranky says. What about the parents?
Yep.
They're right there. It says black shoes.
You'd be surprised how many adults I see on a daily basis complaining about stuff like that in a doctor's office or at the hospital or at like community health events. It's insane. And it doesn't, they're just enabled and it just continues. It's, you see the kids and then you see the parents, you're like, there it is. It makes sense. It makes sense.
I see it now.
Oh, okay.
There it makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot of sense now.
Yeah.
So that's what stupid is and stupid does means.
Stupid does.
We host events. My internship site hosts events back to school, and they have, of course, everything's free for the community. Without it being said, we would assume that people would grab one and we consider the people behind them and then be on their way. Take the one backpack because who the hell needs 7 of them? No.
The one with 12 kids.
You'd be surprised. You show up. The one lady will show up and hey, grab a backpack and keep it moving, or here's some free donuts, or here's some free whatever. And they come with like to-go plates. They'll pack that thing
What?
up. They're taking multiple backpacks, like without shame. And then we're like, wait. Just one per person. Well, I didn't know that. There's no sign here that doesn't say. And I'm like, come on, lady.
Common
Like,
sense.
It's just basic
Bro, the common sense
Common
thing
sense.
is out the window.
Or we'll say, we're going to form a line over here because it's getting a little unorganized. Nobody told me there had to be a line. And I'm like, just get in line. Lady, it's free.
Yeah.
Just get in line.
It's free.
We're not going to run out unless people like you take 10 of them.
I bet you there's some government cheese people get in line, right? Jeez.
And no,
With the Z, not the S.
And sure enough, they're showing up with their kids and they're acting crazy and their kids are looking up and watching and then they believe they have the authority
Yep.
Yeah.
or the entitlement to act that way too. And it's like, have some common decency and respect. Like, it's just non-existent these
Yeah.
days. It's just, it really is.
Well, speaking of free
Yeah.
and
after-school
free events, we're going to throw another shout out. It is this weekend. So when you hear this, it'll be this weekend. It'll be August 11th. Barber Gabe is having his 11th annual back to school event that he has. They're going to be giving away backpacks with supplies. They're going to be doing free haircuts. They're going to be doing, boys, I'm pretty sure girls as well. They might even be having somebody do nails. They're going to have giveaways, prizes, the whole thing.
One per person.
One per person, please.
We hope.
We did go and meet Barber Gabe yesterday and give him some backpacks as well. So get out there if you're in need. Again, if you still want to donate, I'm pretty sure there's still time. But just so you know, it is August 11th. It's going to be from 10 to 2 at the Frank Garrett Center. If you don't know where that's at, pretty sure you have a smartphone or your kid does. We just talked about it.
Tell them to
Google
take it out during class time.
Yeah, so Google it. But it is 10 to 2, Frank Garrett Center, Barber Gabe's event, 11th annual. Get out there. If you're in need, get out there early, get in line. There's going to be some stuff for you. So, again, just wanted to get that out there so that way,
He's posted a couple of stuff because he's gathering stuff, because there's going to be giveaways. And, I mean, he's got
signed Spurs jerseys.
Spurs stuff.
Yep.
He's got basketballs. He's got, I'm sure he's got a lot. I'm sure he's got a lot of stuff. And of course, it's going to be given away, so it's going to be free. But we didn't get a chance. We'll probably talk with him that day.
Yeah.
And we'll have an update or
yeah, he
something.
invited us to go out there on Sunday during his event. So our plan is to get out there, maybe get a soundbite from him, and who knows, maybe even talk to some people out there. But just it's going to be a great event. It's gone from something small to something big, and it's just him giving back to the community. So get out there if you need to. August 11th, Frank Garrett Center.
And look for our picture so you can see my chubby face. the face for radio, as they like to say. And let me tell you this, right? So we go over there. Louie gives me the address, and I show up, right? And I'm trying to get there as early as I can because Louie says, "Well, I'm probably going to get a cut or whatever, And I'm trying to get there as early as I can. So I show up, and there's Louie in the chair, and this dude, man, you would talk about making it rain. This dude. Big baller style, man. I mean, Barber Gabe is like doing to the nines, bro. To the nines. He's like edging up here. He's doing a little thing on his mustache. He's doing a little edge up there, and he's doing this, and with precision, bro. With precision, this dude.
The manscape going on.
Yeah.
while we're watching World War Z.
Yeah, we're watching World War Z. I'm like, oh, that's a good. I love that movie. That's a good movie. And I'm watching, I mean, with precision, dude.
Bro, that's how he does all his cuts, man.
And
again, hey, not only the back to school event, man. If you need a cut, go to Barber Gabe, man.
Yeah.
He's at Blades and Fades over there off of Rigsby.
I'm about ready to go. I ain't got much up top, but shit.
4722, man. He'll take care of you.
What's the address? Say it in
4722 Rigsby Avenue.
It's right next to a gas station.
Yeah,
a real small place, but it's pretty. It looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man, I was sitting right there. The speaker from the friggin' TV was right behind me. I'm like, so you get your.
The kids aren't in there. Usually there's rap music going on, so
Make sure you're out of that neighborhood before the sun goes down.
As long as you get your cut before 6, you'll be all right. But yeah, man, it was good.
No, it was cool meeting him, man. We met him real quick. We gave him the backpacks. I gave him, how many did we give him? 13?
13.
14, somewhere around there?
Yeah.
But you gave him some with some
supplies,
some supplies in them. So shout out to my sister. She actually sent me some money, and we basically just kind of split it down the middle. So we ended up getting 10 backpacks for them. But hopefully.
No, I think we gave him like 17.
Really?
Yeah, it was 17. Yeah, because
Wow.
I think because you gave him 10.
I gave him 10.
Yeah, and we had given him 7. And
okay.
And 5 of them with supplies.
Oh,
so
okay.
Yeah.
But man, hopefully we can make it out there. Hopefully, if you need anything, we've been posting it. So
and we'll continue to post it up until the day. So
yeah, we'll keep putting it out there. But I don't know, man. Does anybody else have any?
Well, since we were speaking on kids, I did have that one thing that I sent y'all on this episode of how Craig got fired on his day off.
Some local stuff here.
There was a Bexar County Sheriff applicant to be named later. Who
he's not being drafted or traded.
Yeah, he went to apply for a Bexar County Sheriff, position, and during the process they have a background screening, and so during his background screening, an officer just asks him out of the blue, "Can I see your phone?" And this guy willingly shows it to him.
Oh my God.
And the officer sees some questionable things on the phone, where later shows it to an investigator, and it turns out to be child pornography. Oh. So, needless to say, the guy was arrested on the spot. And this morning, the sheriff was on the news and was saying that this is the second one in weeks that they've caught that way. So, in their hiring process, they're taking predators off the street. As much flack that we gave Sheriff Salazar, man, a few episodes ago.
Yeah.
Shout out to them that they did their due diligence, right? And they were able to take these guys off. But
they were able to take these guys off because they're stupid. It's not because they were doing a good job.
So maybe it was a good thing.
What's that show on True TV? The dumb criminals or the dumbest criminals? Dude.
Maybe it was a good thing that they got him off the street or off the force before they even got in.
So and with that. He mentioned, he's like, needless to say, we were able to take people that probably would have been predators out there where, you've seen some, of course, we talk about officers, not all of them are bad. You got bad apples, but you've seen some of the bad apples that are, sexual assault, people and things of that nature. But Sabrina brought up a great point. She said, what'd you say?
I say a lot of things.
You sure do.
In regards to
But remember,
when we were
she's
talking
always
about-
right.
exactly. Thank you, Porky.
Well, you got me on that one. When we were talking about where the sheriff, where they asked for the phone, so you said maybe they should.
Oh, I said then that you said this wasn't the first time, so I just not to say that all sheriffs
Or officers.
or officers or people of the law are this way, but it seems to be a cycle or a pattern. So we should check all the officers' phones just to make sure that this isn't something if their position is of authority and to be holding these criminals, pedophiles, we'll just call them what they are, accountable, then they should also be checked and screened for these types of things.
So it basically the way certain jobs do
Government jobs do that.
Well,
they have all access to all of your.
but the way certain jobs do random piss tests, random drug tests, maybe they should do random phone checks. I mean,
I feel like it'd be an invasion of privacy.
It is.
Or
Well,
like,
yeah.
does it go to like? Does that get into like civil law? Like, does
I don't know.
are they now
But
breaking civil rights?
maybe you just ask like this guy, and he was stupid enough to give him the phone. Maybe you just ask an employee, "Hey, can I check out your phone?" Oh shit!
Yeah, I mean, like no. Because it's like,
not.
so what you're trying to tell me?
Like,
what
do you have
you're-
a warrant?
What you're telling me is a sheriff cannot solve a case without asking for somebody for his phone. Because he's busted 2 people. But what about the people that got killed over there in the freaking hill country? The girl and her 2 daughters that got killed.
Oh,
that
they still
supposedly-
haven't figured
they still
that
haven't
out.
figured- Just ask the person for his phone. Maybe you'll find out. So why haven't you figured it out yet, Sheriff? Well, he won't give me his phone, so I don't know what to do. I don't know what else to do. If he doesn't give me his phone, I mean, I can't solve shit.
Case closed.
It's closed.
Case closed.
We're
Work's
done.
done here.
Jeez.
I don't know, Sarge. You want to give me your phone? I don't know.
I don't know how far we in. We're already at an hour and a half. I don't know, but
No, it seems like it, but we're not.
so going on law enforcement.
Come on,
right?
Louie.
I know, right? Spit it out.
So did you?
You know what? It's because I got caught in my. I need another blackberry shot. But
Smokey is getting to him.
so going on the law enforcement, y'all heard about the shooting that was at the Air BnB in the Chavano district.
Okay.
I didn't hear about that. Go ahead.
So it was an Airbnb. There was a house party. The guy came outside and was shot in the driveway. Left there. Everybody ran inside. They ended up having a standoff because they thought the people that shot him were inside the party,
shit.
inside the house.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't. When the guy came out, a vehicle drove by and shot him. So it was a targeted event. It was targeted
Boy,
case, right?
How is it a random? It's
Right.
gotta be
So yeah,
targeted.
it was targeted. However, they process of elimination. They cleared everybody that was in the house. It wasn't them. They found out what it was. But now that subdivision is asking for the homeowner that rents the Airbnb to be held accountable, right? And not only that, it's not only the subdivision. The district councilman, the councilman of that district has come out and said that the Airbnb owner needs to be held accountable. And the officers, so then you have Chief McManus that comes out and says, well, yeah, they shouldn't be renting out to gang members because that's who was renting this place.
Okay.
First of all, you're when you do an Airbnb, they're not doing a background check on you.
No.
So how do you know they're a gang member? How do you know that they're a criminal? How do you know what they're doing?
You don't know.
They're doing a house party. Okay, they paid their due. They paid their rent or the rent.
Right,
to
whatever
rent the
money is
Airbnb.
charged, right,
Plus, like we talked about on our messages, there's another surcharge on top of that for cleanup at
charge.
the end.
Right.
So they paid their money. How do you hold this person accountable? Now, I will tell you, this dumb idiot that rented the Airbnb wasn't up to date on their renters. What was it? Short-term renters agreement, something. You have to have kind of like a
Airbnb?
you have to
Yes.
kind of have like a
Okay.
license.
Yes.
And theirs expired in April.
Oh,
and this
my.
happened
So they're still
July.
Well, then I could see why.
It's
they
kinda
wanna
like a
do that.
permit.
Yeah,
to
but
rent.
they're saying, well, how do we keep these people out of here? Well, you can't. If somebody has an Airbnb in your freaking subdivision, I'm sorry, they can rent to whoever the hell
That's
they want. This place here used to be an Airbnb. So if somebody wanted to come in here and rent it as a house party,
And
they can't do anything about
and
it.
the owner would say often that they have cameras everywhere. They took all the measures. They had their renter's permit, which is essentially what it is, renewed every month, and that these people would come in with they're celebrating their families or their soldiers graduating from Blackland Air Force Base, so they throw a party here with all of their friends. And would throw blankets over the cameras.
Mhm.
So they couldn't see. And they knew they were throwing a party. Why? Because they have their cleaning lady who lives across the street. And she'd be like, yeah, there's like 50 cars
I gotta
out
clean
here.
that shit tomorrow.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, I mean, it happens often. And what can you do? The people who own this house don't live in San Antonio. They
Nope.
live in-
Right.
And that's the
They're
thing.
probably
The
somewhere
person
else.
that owned that house
they
doesn't
don't
live in San Antonio.
either.
How can you?
You really can't hold them
Wait,
accountable.
but
But you
for
can't
that.
really hold them accountable for that.
But yes, you can if their renters
Agreement was
expired. or whatever.
Yes.
Okay. Well then,
but that should be Airbnb's fault because shouldn't
Right,
they be
yes.
like,
right.
hey, your thing is expired. I'm not gonna let you
Yeah.
right now.
So they should
It's like
keep-
it's like Lyft and Uber.
Yes.
If your
Yeah.
registration is
You
expired.
can't,
Exactly.
you can't pick somebody up.
You can't drive.
You can't do anything with Uber or Lyft if you don't have updated
Insurance
registration,
or-
license.
Insurance.
You
And
got
background
same thing.
check.
Yes.
Believe
So
me, because
they-
I can't get mine.
Operating illegally. So for that, I agree 100%. And I think they did say they can't really do anything right now, which is what McManus said. We can't really give them consequences for these visitors throwing a party.
Yeah.
What we can do, though,
Yeah.
what we are going to do is hold them accountable for letting their
Yes.
thing expire.
Yes.
So let me
yes.
tell you what
That's
the
what I was gonna
solution
say.
is. They're giving them a fine, which isn't much. I think it was $1,000 or whatever it was. But then they can't rent for a year.
Ooh.
So now
see,
that's gonna hurt them because
so
that's
then-
residual money that's
so that
coming in
hurts
to
them.
pay for their
Yeah.
Airbnb, right?
So that hurts them.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, so I see that, but I think I'm more upset. First of all, the law enforcement was stupid for even agreeing with these dumbasses in that freaking subdivision.
Hey-o.
Right? And even the freaking council person, he's an idiot. He's just trying to get freaking votes for next election.
Hey-o.
So screw him. But I think I'm more upset with the people in that subdivision being like, whoa, what can we do? You can't do anything, dude. This is their
They
freaking
assume.
money. They bought this house. They have this house. They can do whatever the hell they want with it.
Yep.
I'm sorry. If I want to freaking rent this house out to whoever the hell I want to, I will.
They assume they can do something.
Yeah,
Just
but-
because it's like, well, this
And
is
then
my
for it to
subdivision.
make the
this is
news,
mine.
and then the news to freaking be playing it.
Yes.
Like it's just a media freaking frenzy, dude.
And I was
COVID.
wait, say that again. In the back for the people can hear.
Say it again, Kranky.
I don't got another call.
And I was more upset because they charged me $220 for a cleanup fee when I left that shit spotless.
Yeah.
And you still want to charge me? Okay, I paid it because you got to pay it up front.
Yeah.
You can't pay it after.
Yeah,
you
it's a
got to pay it up
deposit,
front.
basically.
And
Yeah.
It's not only that because they charge you a cleanup fee, but they also say, please be sure to clean up after yourself.
Well, bitch.
You just charged me. But you know what they do? They'll fucking give you a bad rating so other people won't rent to you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's always
Well,
man.
and then staking on that on house parties, right? Y'all heard about the other one that was on the west side of San Antonio, deep west side, 1604 area.
SeaWorld.
There was a house, a subdivision that has new builds that people don't live in. And they threw a house party at one of the homes. And in that home, a 17-year-old was shot and left in the backyard.
This was recent.
This was
wasn't
just
it?
this week.
This was recent. Yeah.
You know, and it's like, what can
How?
you do?
Yeah.
Like, how do you police that? Like,
How?
yeah, you can if you have security officers that are in the area,
Yeah.
right? But what? I'm
Damn.
sorry, man. Honestly, those are those kids that are getting out there and doing whatever the hell they want at 16, 17, 18 years old, you know, and it's just, I hate for people to come out and, what can we do? Then take care of your damn kids. That's what you can do. Don't have your kids out there at a damn house party at 2 o'clock in the morning getting shot up. Like, don't do that. But I just, everybody always has an issue with, oh, well, what can we do? You can't do anything.
Or stop letting your kids buy guns. How about that?
Thank you. Oh, so if we want to go on that, speaking on that.
I mean, let me ask y'all this. Your
Part
son
two.
is your oldest, 21 and 24. Mm-hmm. How old's yours?
29.
Do y'all know what your kids have what they bought in the last week? They're adults now. But if they were to get hurt, they'd be considered, oh, they're so young. Do you know what yours
Yeah, but we're talking about 17-year-olds.
Okay, what? 21-year-old. Do you know what he bought the last week?
Probably games.
Games.
Getting good.
The older one, he likes his guns.
He does like his guns.
Oh, but he's
Mind you, he's in the forces.
He's in the armed forces, but
We trust.
That's what I was gonna
we
say.
trust that he is very
Responsible.
He's responsible. He's the most responsible.
for the most part.
Didn't he get something
Unbiased.
stolen? Out?
He literally just got a gun
Unbiased.
stolen.
Him and Lily are probably our most responsible out of all of the children, right? And Kenny, do you know what he's purchased in the last week?
Alcohol.
Definitely alcohol, right?
A bunch
I
of
can
There's
guarantee
one thing
that
I
one.
can count on without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, it's so easy to be like, tell your kids to get their shit together, right? Like,
Oh, and tattoos.
probably tattoos. Mind you,
Tattoos.
my mom did not know that I was 15. I was staying with a friend. She didn't know that I was out in a ranch party in the middle of the night, and I wasn't about to tell her either. But had I got a hold of a gun and someone like threatened me or I got drunk enough, who knows? I could have done that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
she had no
but
idea I
that's
was out there.
why I know. But
And it really wouldn't have been her fault because she was like, yeah, you can go stay at your friend's house. And then my dumb ass was like, oh, I'm going to go to a ranch party with these 18-year-old, me and my friend driving our own cars, going with these older seniors. You know what I mean? We had no business.
Is that how you sounded too? Ooh.
Yeah, exactly like that. So
Well, that's not how they sounded back in our day.
We sounded intelligent.
the literate millennials.
How we had it, we got beer. Yeah, we're going.
We're there.
we'll be there.
I'll take the bus. I don't give a fuck.
I
I'll
mean,
be there.
It's easier said than done. I mean, I have friends who have lost their children and they're 17, 16 years old and wrong place, wrong time, right? I mean, it's hard to say that that's the answer.
But was it? But was it?
I
No,
mean,
that's what I'm saying.
Not all the time, but
You know what? And again, I'm not saying that you're gonna police your kids and be with them 24/7 and know what they're doing all the time. But if you parent, you trust that you have instilled into your kids some kind of mindset where they're gonna be responsible. Again, do they make bad choices? Of course they do. Did we? We did lots of times.
Still do.
We still do. But we,
And that's why we have interventions.
exactly. But I'm just saying, man, it's just don't start with, oh, well, what can we do? You can't do anything. You can't. Sorry.
it does start in the home. I will say that. Everyone's always like, that famous saying, who says it? Is it Michael Jackson? Who says it? If you want to see change, it starts with you, right? You got to look in the mirror. You got to start change within yourself.
To the black or white.
Yep, that's the one. So
Kamala.
I mean, Kamala. So I mean, it does start at home, right? There is
white.
only so much we can do. Oh, there's yeah.
Man, that liquor, man.
I know.
Speaking of guns,
God damn
last
that old
one.
Smokey.
Oh, yeah.
Last one. Speaking of guns,
Oh, he's on one tonight, baby.
you heard about the guy that was taking his trash out in the morning.
She didn't leave before the wife got there or what?
Guy taking his trash out in the morning, right? Yeah. That's a good one. Taking his trash out in the morning.
Don't
and-
sleep over, stupid.
I know.
And his gun goes off and shoots himself.
I haven't heard this one
I
yet.
know.
It was
You
on the news this
mentioned
morning.
it.
It was on the news this
Was it
morning.
around here,
It
or
was
is it-
here.
Here?
It was here.
Oh,
In
my
the news this
God.
morning, the guy was taking the trash out.
Talk
and his
about
gun goes off.
illiterate.
So, we're talking about guns. Why do you need your damn gun to take the trash out in the morning?
What side of town was he in? What time was it?
Who is he?
Yes.
What does he do for a
Was
living?
was he a gang member?
I mean, our oldest.
He was 56 years old.
Oh, he was 56.
He
I
done
mean,
jail time. I don't know. I'm just saying.
He carries everywhere.
My son does carry everywhere.
does everywhere.
I don't know if he carries to take out the trash.
Well, they've tried breaking in there, so he's always like, I'm always ready. And I'm like, all right.
He does
whatever.
have it on him all
when
the
he
time.
came here the other day, he was
He has
has
it on him
him.
all the
Oh,
time,
you
bro.
serious?
Oh, I didn't see that.
He's
He has, it on,
Dang,
he
bro.
has it here or here. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes he does have it. If he's just going to come in and out, he'll have it in the truck, but he has it in a holster,
It's on
by
his
the
person.
side.
Oh, he
almost
can grab
always.
it
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
and then he'll put it away if he has to. But for the most part, it's on him all the time now. So
He ain't pulling some Doc Holliday shit on there.
I would, and I would be very surprised if he did this to himself. Like, I'd be like, there's no way. Because he's very fluent.
I mean, there's a safety.
there
The
is.
only thing I can imagine is he got startled and, like, reached for it and shot it while trying to grab it.
No, I
Yeah.
don't have all the specifics,
It
but
fell
I
out.
want to say he did die, I think.
No way!
Yeah,
Taking his trash out?
Yeah.
I'm never fucking taking the trash out again. Never.
You never do nothing.
Fuck! I can't drive. I can't be sitting in my home. I'm gonna take the trash out. Bam! You're dead. Fuck, man.
Damn.
Speaking of trash, why are we still buying trash bags? We're just gonna throw them away.
The man taking the trash to the dumpster with the gun slips, shoots, and kills himself accidentally.
Oh.
That was here, guys. That was here.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
Yep.
Wow.
So I
That's
just
y'all's
looked it up on KSAT 12. So
Did you hear what you just said? She's been
Pointing out
throwing
the obvious.
jabs. She's
That
been
was
throwing
y'all.
jabs
That
all
was y'all.
day, bro.
We do some stupid stuff, but that was
That's
definitely y'all's generation.
that's 56. That's
that was
way,
50. That was
that's way
baby. That was
before.
baby. Yeah.
Y'all are lying. Y'all are in y'all's 50s.
Hell no.
Well, I know Louie don't look like it because
Hell
he just
no.
came from the
Does have my
barber.
little caramel gumdrop.
Oh God! No, we're gonna end it there. Fuck that. We don't need any more of this.
Any party shots?
Don't pass July is over. I'll have you. Y'all know
It is
that.
over.
Right? No pass July is
Hey,
over.
But back to school August. No cell phones.
And
to bother us.
these teachers that the young teachers that do TikToks in class. I mean, stick with that and stick away from lick cock. You know.
Got it bad. Got it bad. Got it bad. I'm hot for teacher.
No, it's the other way around now these days.
Hey,
The other way around.
he's got to show some sort of interest.
Anybody want a party shot?
San Antonio, man.
Got him right where I want him.
Yeah,
96.
you're true.
Hey, I have a pool game I gotta go to right now. So
He had the full game he had to go to.
Oh shit. One last shot
one
before
last
we
shot
go.
before we close this chapter.
Bariba, all that stuff.
All that stuff.
All right, man. But while we're taking this last shot, we're off the air. Old Smoky, man, it's that scissor shit is really affecting. So tune in next week. We might have somebody on the phone.
We might have somebody on the
Yeah,
phone.
we'll possibly have somebody on the phone.
Yes.
It's something that I wanted to cover, so I hope we can get him on here. He's an old friend of ours, so hopefully we'll get him on. And I want to talk about something
You can do
along
a
the
preview.
lines.
You can do a preview.
I want to do along the lines of the way the sports is nowadays with all this, and it's not so much just travel ball, right?
No, that-
and it's
literally.
not even just baseball because it's
just-
basketball,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
football, it's baseball.
Yes.
So you know how these referees, umpires, coaches, parents, even players, dude. So hopefully we can get him on next week. And we'll talk about all that stuff because he's an umpire and I'm sure he's seen a lot of shit. So
Yep.
hopefully we can get him on. But other than that, man, anything else?
Do we need anything else?
No, I think
whole new
we're
segment,
going on
man.
2 hours now.
Jeez.
No, that's it, man. Thanks for listening. We'll catch y'all later.
Peace.